So is the wedding still going on, or?
Oh no, it was done at like 10:30.
Okay.
Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to the Torgo Entertainment YouTube channel. Torgo here. Welcome back to another gig log. Welcome to the Adirondacks, and welcome to another wedding. If you watched the last gig log, you'll know why my background looks a little bit different. I'm currently in a motel at Gore Mountain Lodge in the Adirondacks because I am in between the venues for last night's wedding and today's wedding. Today we celebrate the wedding of Mike and Kara. Not to put too fine a point on it, but this is another All-Star Entertainment subcontracted wedding, and the reason I ended up with this wedding is because I inherited it in the same way I did the last one. Unfortunately, their previous DJ passed away. I'm picking up the slack, and here we are. Today's wedding will last 5 to 11, and I head to the Gideon Putnam in Saratoga Springs, New York. Now let's go to the map and show you exactly what's going on here. North Creek is where I am right now. Fieldstone Lodge is where I was last night. Saratoga Springs is where I'm going today. It's about an hour away from the motel. I couldn't go home from last night because that was a 4-hour drive, and then just to drive another 4 to make it here. So that's why I had to get lodging in between. And being a 5 to 11 wedding, I'm also going to do that tonight as well and then drive home in the morning. And because the Gideon Putnam is a brand new venue, I visited a ton of venues this spring. Let's go case the joint.
I thought you said the library was closed, Frank.
This is what they call casing.
So here we have the ceremony location. I should mention I visited this place kind of on a whim, but I'll go into that in a second. So the ceremony happens right in that doorway. Zooming in a little bit, that's the entrance where they will be coming from. And the reception area is in that building to the right. So this is the actual aisle they'll be walking on the left. As I said, I'm visiting Stablegate Winery, which I'm at in October. And I'm also visiting 60 State Place in Albany, which I'm at in September. And this one was like kind of close, so I decided to hop in there as well. Here we have the inside of the reception hall. So here's the main hotel, and past this wall, here's the reception hall. A little smaller than I was anticipating, but very obvious locations for uplighting. This would be nice to have this size crowd in. It'll be a little tight, but you know, they're gonna put me up against that wall. Cocktail hour is going to be off to this side, and the glass partitions rather do come out, so that makes music a breeze, no pun intended. So there's the outlets, and they would have me right up here. They would clear the stuff out of the way, and I can set up here. So that'll work really, really well. And obviously uplighting all around the room. I counted 19 locations for them. The only thing that sucks is the parking. So here's my parking spot, and they won't let us use that path, so we got to go all the way with the cart. I'm gonna get my workout this weekend.
And that's pretty much it. There isn't too much to say leading up to the wedding. I had to have more uplighting at this venue than I've ever had at a wedding, so I brought 19 uplights. Actually, I brought 20 because they come in packs of 4, so that should be more than enough for the room. All those glass walls are gonna come down, so I have ceremony set up, cocktail hour set up, and reception set up, 3 different ones. I'm probably gonna do the same thing for cocktail hour that I did yesterday, today, which is using that Sennheiser transmitter, playing from inside the reception hall, and just having it transmit outside, especially when it's not that far away from where I am. However, I need to make sure that those get charged. There actually wasn't a USB-C charger in this room, unfortunately, or any real spare outlets running around. So, I'm gonna get there super early, charge what I need to, and it's gonna take it from there. I did kind of foresee this happening, so I did charge that as much as I could. So hopefully it's enough, and I can just, spend about a half hour charging the rest of it, and that'll be enough for what I need. Here's hoping. I need to hit the road. There's a ton of stuff I gotta do. I hope you're ready for this one. This should be a party. It's indoors, finally. Let's go.
I swear to you, this entire day is going to sound fake. You'll notice by the timestamp on the driving that I got there very early, 5.5 hours before the wedding was supposed to start. And that was because I had nothing else really to do. I wasn't gonna loiter around in that motel, so I got there nice and early. I figured, just get it all done and out of the way. First surprise, guess what? That room that I showed you during the casing portion is the wrong room. The wedding's not happening in there. And I should have seen this coming. I first met the Gideon Putnam staff in January when I did the Albany Bridal Expo with Rachel, and then I tried to call to schedule a venue meeting, and they already had a different venue management then. That was in March. I get there in April, they have a different event coordinator, and she's the one that showed me that room, that whole layout. And I get there today, and they have yet another one. However, this guy Mark was definitely on top of his game, although he's going to be interim as well. They're getting a new one in about 2 weeks. Ah, turnover. Gotta love it. So the new reception area will be denoted by this blue star, and actually it's a much better room. It's much larger, it actually uses the same amount of uplighting, so no real worries there, and the ceremony happens in the same spot as we knew beforehand, denoted by the blue heart. Cocktail hour takes place right outside the main double doors where the reception is, and I could just pull up to load in relatively easily, truck all the ceremony stuff through the building. But then we get to the matter of parking. Saratoga Springs Park had a jazz festival all weekend as well, so there was no parking. You can see me fiddling around trying to find parking when I got there. So I talked to the venue staff, and they had one parking spot that was available for nobody else, and they said I could use it because somebody called off that day, and it was literally not a spot, just, sidled up next to the side of the building. Still inconvenient, still had a terrible time unloading everything. So that 5.5 hours, which seems excessive, yeah, I ended up cutting it close. So this setup footage is cobbled together from a bunch of different takes. Here's ceremony. I'll show it to you once they finish taking some photos ahead of time. And here we go. Let's show you the setup very quickly. I'll run over this very briefly because it's just like it's always been every other time I do this kind of thing. Samsung Chromebook with all the music on it on that little SanDisk flash drive. The Yamaha 10-channel mixer. I'm still cleaning up a little bit, hence the plastic wrap and everything. My mic rack with the Shure ULXD4 microphone receivers. My Panasonic 4K camcorder on top of my clipboard with the itinerary on top of this Yeti 1000 battery / power inverter, and the Bose S1 Pro speaker on top. Funny little thing, we were planning on using the lapel mic, but the Efficient is wearing a dress that doesn't have a place to clip it. So I did have to do one mic stand with one microphone, and I taught her, like, hey, look, you just need to swing it out of the way. And there's a drone! Check out the drone. Not mine. And here's reception footage. I filmed this during cocktail hours, so forgive me. We have the iPad running the Airstream app. Water supply, there's the belt from the photographer. They always leave stuff there. I moved this inside for cocktail hour. There are the Sennheiser transmitters. I used those for the speaker out there. We have my Logitech trackball mouse, my Radial 2-to-1 mixer, which takes my two microphones and pinpoints them into one channel. There's the 4K camcorder charging. There is the ULXD microphone. I have two of the bridesmaids giving speeches at the same time, so I needed to have two in here. The PowerBar 65, the Roland DJ 808 controller, getting a lot of use out of it, and I love it a whole lot. The Samsung Odyssey Z notebook with Virtual DJ 2020, the Airstream DMX bridge proper on top of its case to give it a little more height, a little more reach, the Audio-Technica ATH M50X headphones. Underneath, we have my Furman power conditioners. The table was provided, thankfully, and we have my UB12 hex bars lighting up the facade. Coming around, nothing special here. Two speaker stands. Hello, Mike and Kara. The QSE K10.2 tops, and we have the ADJ Focus Spot 3Zs with the DMX Terminator inside on top of my pre-wired truss. The 5PX hex is inside there, and we have uplighting all around the room. Here is the color for the uplighting, the shade of blue. I matched the bridesmaids' dresses. She told me what the shade was going to be ahead of time. Color matched it in paint, got the hex code, matched it that way, and here is the facade, the Remo pattern from Dragon front boards, and it looks really good. So back up a little bit more. We got some more of the element hexes underneath the speaker stands. Ah, there's the whole thing. Doesn't it look great? Of course, with photography lights. There's 19 uplights in there, and for the 20th one, so you can see the speaker right there. That's where cocktail hour takes place. Yeah, that's a thick wall, but no problem reaching whatsoever. I didn't dress that up because I wanted people to see it, and the white kind of made it hide into the wall. And I have the last uplight in this plant lighting up their sign. We have time for one more thing, and you know what time it is. That's right, it's time to level up.
Let's go.
By the power vested in me, by the state of New York, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You make history. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great joy that I present to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Manfredi.
First up, you have the bridesmaid, Sarah Fitzgerald, the son of Ruth and Johnny Manfredi. Bridesmaid Heidi Black, escorted by groomsman Mike Pafleski. Next up, bridesmaid Megan Claramayo, escorted by groomsman Danny Muncie. And keep it going for bridesmaid Heather Foyt, escorted by groomsman Brian Quinn. Next up around the bend, give it up for bridesmaid Jody Sheen, escorted by groomsman Tim Murphy. And keep it going for bridesmaid Ashley Dunn, escorted by groomsman Paul Manfredi. And keep it up for our penultimate pair, bridesmaid Susie Dignard, escorted by groomsman Ryan Sullivan. They call him Sully. Our families are in the building. Our wedding party is in the building. There's only 2 people we're missing, is that right? If you have the means to do so, get on your feet. Now, the first one who can get is Mr. and Mrs. Michael Manfredi. Give a little couple of round of applause, everyone.
My favorite band is OAR. Mikey introduced me to OAR and would take me to the concerts with his friends. And of course, I'm going to need both Ashley and Susie up here.
All right, DJ, cue us up.
And we're going to start things off with what I like to call the good luck dance. Everyone who wishes our new Mike and Sarah good luck in all their adventures in the future, now's the time to join them on the floor. We got time for one more song. It's like two, but it's one. Our newlyweds, Mike and Kara, requested this last one. In fact, they came out to a similar version of the ceremony. It's kind of flat. And that's going to wrap things up for us here. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. But before we go, I want to hear one more huge round of applause for Mike and Kara, Mr. and Mrs. Manfredi! What? One more song! One more song! One more song! Well...
And I'm back. The afternoon after, obviously. It is raining, back in Corning, and I made unloading the car super fun, as you can tell. I'm actually wiping off the road case that holds my moving heads. Get the water out of them because I don't want to have to carry this inside wet. So let's look at all the logistic nightmares of this weekend. 4-hour drive for the Friday wedding, that terrible load-in, schedule change without me knowing about it, running all that distance, trying to get the thing back and forth, trouble finding a hotel between Friday and Saturday, showing up to the hotel today, realizing that the plan I had done was entirely wrong. The wedding coordinator changed, so that means that the one that was there gave me false information, no parking whatsoever, and then after the wedding, the place freaking caught fire.
So is the wedding still going on, or?
Oh no, it was done at like 10:30.
Okay.
Remember what I said about there being a jazz festival in town? Someone burned popcorn, so they had to evacuate the entire hotel. Now I can load out. Well, it was like college all over again. And then the bed and breakfast I stayed at last night, they had a gas leak, no hot water, no hot breakfast whatsoever. And then a 4-hour drive home, and now I get to unload in the rain. So it has been a weekend, but let me tell you what, the weddings were fantastic, and this last wedding in particular was super awesome. Sorry, I thought I saw you. I did see a robin. What's going on, little buddy? This crowd came to dance, and they had a good time. They would have gotten more dancing in, but the photographer stole them for an hour 15 of golden hour photos just because of where the reception was versus where the photo opportunities were. And then we ended at 10:30. We probably could have gone longer, but they were contracted until 10:30, and even though they weren't going to use that room for another week, I was beat. So I went right until the time the contract said, and I called it a day. And I'm whooped. As such, I'm going to keep this outro a little bit brief. The playlist will be at the tail end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Torgo with Torgo Entertainment. Next week, we have a wedding right here in town, and only one, but I need 2 assistants for next Saturday, and I'll show you why in the next gig log. Take care.
I'd say for real now. Two things. Number one, that worked once. Two things. Number one, somebody left some leather on my table and it ain't for me. I left that at home. And secondly, if you want to go to the after party, you got